Hello and welcome our broad viewers to RTD's News English edition. Tonight for the highlights we got statement by the Public Prosecutor, Ministry of Justice. And on the international scene in the Mediterranean, more than 700 migrants rescued over the weekend. Those were the top highlights for tonight. Welcome back, our blood viewers. The Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, received today the Indian ambassador to Djibouti, Mr. Ashok Kumar, who paid him in a farewell visit at the end of his mission in our country. The Prime Minister and the Indian diplomat made a review of the various programs carried out together in the framework of the fruitful partnership between their two countries. On this occasion, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed congratulated the Indian ambassador for his remarkable work during his mission. At the end of this farewell visit, the Prime Minister did not fail to wish the diplomat a good continuation in his career. Let us recall that Mr. Ashok Kumar was the first Indian ambassador to have residence in Djibouti since the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two states. The prosecutor of the Republic, Mrs. Lamis Mohammed Saeed, made a statement today following the recent events and the serious disturbance to public order that occurred in some neighborhoods, and I quote, following the events that occurred in the recent days in Balbala, especially in Warable and PK12, but also in some areas of the capital, namely in neighborhood 7 and Arhiba, it was noted several criminal acts of extreme seriousness. Indeed, houses were intentionally set on fire, and unfortunately, 3 deaths were reported. In addition, vehicles were damaged and innocent people were assaulted for no obvious reasons. Investigations are underway and several criminals have been already arrested and placed in custody. I would like to make it clear that these acts are intolerable and we will take firm measures against all those who sow these troubles and crimes in our country. In accordance with the rules and laws in force, in closing, I would like to express my sincere condolence to the families of the victims and my heartfelt encouragement to the investigators of the crime, to the investigators of the police and the gendarmerie, the forces of order, and the elements of the civil protection who spare no effort to restore order and peace. The Republic of Djibouti celebrated the World Day Against Human Trafficking on this occasion. An awareness day was organized by the Ministry of Justice and the International Organization for Migration. The objective was to raise awareness among civil society actors on human trafficking and to discuss with relevant partners the efforts to be made to fight against this phenomenon. This allowed the participants to better understand the phenomena of human trafficking, the recent changes, and above all, to better understand the relationship between migration and human trafficking. The participants, who came from different institutions involved in this issue, were able to discuss the most appropriate ways to respond to this phenomenon and protect the victims. Moving on to the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the World Health Organization, WHO, and UNAIDS, organized a training workshop for referring physicians on antiretroviral treatment and HIV prevention, in accordance with the latest WHO recommendations. This workshop is part of the rapid achievement of the objectives related to access to care and optimization of antiviral treatment. The medical and psychosocial management of PLWHA, as well as orientation in care, are essential interventions. This training consists of reinforcing the skills of physicians on the new ARV treatment guidelines and the different strategies on prevention of HIV infections. It will be conducted by a WHO expert via video conference from July 25th to 29, 2021. The President of CNDH, Mr. Salban Umar Odin, accompanied by a member of the delegation GSBMM, handed over to the President of the Regional Council of Obokh, Mr. Muhammad Hamad Ismail, this morning, Sunday, August 1, 2021, a batch of equipment. This important batch of equipment, consisting of furniture, audiovisual, and computer equipment, is offered by GSBMM program co-financed by the European Union, and the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, which is also known as BMZ. This equipment is intended to strengthen the Religion Council of Oboch and the CNDH branch in this region. They will substantially facilitate the processing of compliments and the holding of meetings. In addition, the president of the Regional Council of Oboch and the president of the CNDH initiated a convention between the two institutions, strengthening the cooperation between the two institutions. At the end of the mission, the delegation was warmly welcomed by the prefect of the Oboch region, Mr. Abdul Malik Mohammed Banoita. After the athletes, the high-level center of DAI welcomes back as it soon as this time the Djiboutian Handball Federation as part of the development programs of its players. Welcomed yesterday by the delegation of the Secretary of State for Sports in the management of the sports complex of DAI, the federation led by its president Ahmed Mohammed will stay a week on the heights of this locality where it will be fed and housed. Before starting the training, the delegation proceeded to an inspection on the field of the centers before handing over a batch of balls to the manager of the sports complex of DAI, Mr. Isi Ahmed. Moving on to the international scene in the Mediterranean, more than 700 migrants attempting to cross the Mediterranean in makeshift boats were rescued over the weekend, notably of Malta and Libya. The NGO SOS Mediterranean announced on Sunday, 1 August, this operation came just a few hours after the Ocean Viking and the boats of Sea-Watch and the German NGO wreck ship came to the aid of more than 400 people in distress in the central Mediterranean during the night of Saturday 31 July to Sunday 1 August. Since Saturday, the Ocean Viking is on its sixth rescue operation. The world of sprinting has found a new king. His name is Marshall Jacobs. The Italian won this Sunday the queen of the events at the Olympic Games in Tokyo. The men's 100 meters at the key, a new European record, 9 seconds and 80 milliseconds. It is the first time that an Italian wins the 100 meters men. Jacobs, born in Texas, beat American Fred Kerley and Canadian Andre DeGrasse to the line. By this, our beloved viewers, we conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us and make sure to stay safe. Have a wonderful evening.